So moving on to something that I'm quite active with, and I've booked quite a few honeymoons, quite a few weddings there. And we touched on the kind of the wedding package earlier. Talk to us about how kind of the Caribbean weddings work, because it's one of the things that really, again, stood out to me when I started to learn more about the brand as such a predominant feature. And it's crazy. I've never heard of what you guys do anywhere else.
Yeah, so it historically with Sandals, weddings, honeymoons, as I said at the start, was always our, if you like, our bread and butter. It's still an important market for us. People that want to go abroad to get married, we're doing our best to attract them to the Caribbean. The selling point is the fact that we include a complimentary wedding package for anyone who wants to get married, who stays 7 nights or more, and as long as they book a club level room or above,
Yeah,
your wedding is included in the cost. So that is, if that's
crazy.
not saying go to the Caribbean to get married, if you don't want to get married in the UK, then I don't know what more of an incentive we can give, really. It's a fantastic package. We call it aisle to aisle.
Yeah.
So there is a complimentary package which includes bride's bouquet, groom's buttonhole, which is a dendrobium orchid. So it's always fresh flowers with all of our wedding packages. Obviously, they're official, which a lot of people think it's a mock wedding and you come home with just a piece of paper, but it is a legal ceremony. So you get the marriage officiant, obviously, to conduct the ceremony. You get to choose the location in terms of gardens location, beach location, gazebo, whatever it might be. And then immediately after, you get an hour's hors d'oeuvre and champagne reception with a 2-tier wedding cake included. So all of that is complimentary. You get a honeymoon dinner as well in one of the existing restaurants, which you can obviously do on the day, or you can do that later in your stay if you wish. And then you can customize. So if you don't like the dendrobium orchids and there's other certain flower types that you want, or you've always dreamt of going to the Caribbean and when you walk up the aisle have a steel pan band playing, you can do it, but there's a cost attached to it. So yeah, there's lots of customization that you can do, which obviously adds a little bit of additional cost, but the main thing is the initial package is complimentary.
Yeah, and it has benefits as well. It has further benefits that if you go out there for a wedding and if you are taking greater family, you generally find that if you go overseas for a wedding, they're much smaller events,
Yeah,
obviously. But if they do take more family and if you get more rooms that get booked within your wedding package, then the couple get more benefits, don't they?
they do. Yeah. So anyone interested that's listening or watching, have a chat with Jason. We do like a complimentary room offering depending on the size of the group. So if it's not just the couple and maybe close relatives that are traveling, you are looking to send out invites to your family and friends, and potentially you could get more than 6 rooms. Then we do value added in terms of a free room credit for a 6th room during certain times of the periods of the year as well. You can advise on that. So there's another additional incentive on top. A question I often get asked with Sandals is with families, obviously with children that maybe want to come to the wedding. We can get the authorization for children to come into the wedding, but it will very much be an hour before the ceremony, obviously witness the ceremony, the immediate reception afterwards, and then that's the wedding sort of day pass finished,
Yeah.
if you like. So we would maybe advise if children are involved, then to look at beaches as an option. Religious ceremonies we do as well. So that would, again, very often it involves family, and so longer durations as well. So I would look at beaches, Turks and Caicos as an example for that. So yeah, value added, enhancing that wedding package, whatever that might be. Bride spa treatments, something with the lads can be organised as well. Rum bars or a pre-wedding stag in resort sort of thing, if you like.
Yeah.
We can arrange that.
Yeah, yeah.
And like you say, all the photography, videography, drone footage we can build in, and the team on resort can make the most amazing wedding videos as well. Photo packs and photo books as well, that can all be arranged.
Yeah, I attend quite a few wedding fairs myself, so we book quite a few weddings for people and honeymoons overseas. And I'm often asked a question when we discuss it. And I had a UK wedding when I was much younger, and just for the sheer cost of what the wedding costs,
Yeah,
it's a lot of money. It's easy paying £20,000. Now, our most common price is up to £30,000 for a wedding, and it's over in one day.
yeah,
It's gone. It's finished.
correct. Yeah,
And it's such a big build up to it. There's all of the stress, who's coming, who isn't coming, who's going to sit everywhere, all those other things. There's so much to think about in the build up to it. And then when the day is there, it's just a wash. You just don't remember, or I didn't remember so much of it. And then before you know it, it's evening.
Yeah.
And then everyone's going, and you kind of have your time there. You wake up, have a breakfast in the morning, off you go. But it's everything just kind of happens so fast. And there's so much of a build up to it. It's this big expectation of everything. And the day afterwards, it's a nice day, but then everything's finished, completely stops and gone. And you don't get that with an overseas wedding, with a destination wedding.
No, we find as well now we're getting a lot of second, third marriages maybe come into our resort. So it's not necessarily the big group. We did the big group thing first time we got married, we got married before previously. The important thing is the rings on the fingers, that document. So it's not groups going, it's maybe just bride and groom, or bride and groom and a couple of close friends or relatives, and that's it. So that's where the complimentary wedding package would really tick the box, because you're getting your wedding, you're getting all the documentation, the official bit out of the way, complimentary, and then you can get on with your honeymoon because you're still on holiday, you're still at Sandals.
Yeah.
And that's also where like the multi-center option sometimes does work really well as well. So have maybe your week with your family and friends if it is a bigger group, and then let them carry on enjoying resort or fly home or whatever, and then move on to another resort or another island and have your honeymoon.
Yeah, and that's something that I was looking for somebody recently, where it was going to be a beaches wedding.
Yeah.
And then they had kids, so the kids were going to be going off with granny, and then afterwards they're going to be moving on to a Sandals resort, so they can get that true kind of honeymoon kind of feature with it, as well as having the whole family there for the wedding, which is a big deal. Yeah, so there's so many different ways we can move things and chop and change your days to give them a perfect kind of wedding experience.
And if you have got a mix of, I think, families as part of the wedding group, if you like, families with children, but then you've also got maybe people that I don't want to stay in the family product, I don't want to stay in beaches, I want to stay at Sandals, then look at Jamaica, look at Negril, because we have a Sandals Negril and we have a beaches Negril, and they're like 5 minutes away from each other. You know, that hopefully would tick a box of that combination as well.
Absolutely. Come and enjoy the festivities, and as soon as I had enough of the kids,
that's right, off I go.
Yeah, don't blame them.
Exactly.
So as well as kind of standard weddings and people doing it for the second and third time, what else is it you do, and what else can we celebrate up there?
Okay, so in resort we also do symbolic weddings for same-sex couples, but that's at Sandals Curacao only.
Okay.
Another growing market for us, particularly with sort of generational travel, is renewal of vows. We're finding a lot of grandparents taking kids and grandkids to our resorts. Obviously, the grandparents doing the renewal of vows.
Yeah.
You're never too old, you're never too young. So that's great. Obviously, if it involves the children, need to look at beaches for that. And very often, again, that can grow into a group booking as well. Yeah, and it's $400 to do the renewal of vows.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. And you also do anniversary packages, honeymoon packages, those types of things, that other benefits for people if you're not getting married out there?
Yeah, we do, probably under the banner, if you like, of value-added offers again. So anyone celebrating an anniversary, as long as you stay in a club level room and you stay within 30 days of your anniversary date, we give a complimentary room discount for one night. So stay for 7, effectively pay for 6. Jason can tell you the logistics of how that works, but effectively it's Sandals giving you a discount for celebrating your anniversary. Minimum stay 7 nights, as I say, 30 days either side of your anniversary. That's the only stipulation. And you need to give Jason a copy of your marriage certificate within 2 weeks, because we need to just upload that as proof. So hopefully everyone's got that in their drawers or safe and easily accessible. So that's a big thing because a lot of people obviously go to Sandals or beaches and it is a celebration, it is a special wedding anniversary or whatever. And incidentally, that can be your 1st, your 50th wedding anniversary, anything in between. It's not any particular milestone. So that's an ongoing offer we do. We do a honeymoon package as well, which is anyone traveling within a year now of getting married in the UK. So it's a bottle of sparkling on arrival in your room. It's a breakfast in bed one morning during your stay. We also do a turn down service where we decorate the bed. All looks very lovely, bit of towel art. Customers absolutely love it, and that's complimentary. So same thing, again, just you would do the booking as normal. We just need a copy of the marriage certificate or like your wedding invite. Yeah. And we've just extended that to a year because we appreciate that a lot of people now would do like a mini moon and then their main honeymoon, hopefully the Sandals or the beaches holiday, will be later.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, as part of your value-added umbrella, You also do things like military discount as well.
We do, yeah. It's 10% off for active or retired military personnel, active or retired police or police or fire,
Yeah.
and serving blue lights, not blue light as in NHS, blue light as in mountain rescue, paramedics.
Okay.
And it's 10% off the accommodation only element of the package if you're buying a flight inclusive package. Or we're also giving 10% off if it's just the accommodation that we're booking. So someone might have maybe air miles or frequent flyer points. They're going to sort their own flight out and then just obviously book through yourself the Sandals or Beaches element. So we're going to give 10% off of that. Yeah. Same thing, need an ID, and you can take care of getting the discount applied.
Yeah, awesome. So we've talked about all the different benefits of Sandals and Beaches, everything you get with it, different packages that you offer, and different things that people can do. But not many people know about business travel and how Sandals can help them with their business and how much it can enhance their business, be it a conference, be it work away meetings, be it staff rewards. So tell us a bit more about that.
Most of our resorts have huge conference rooms, meeting rooms. So we're very geared up to doing meetings, incentives, groups, markets. Again, there's certain ones that maybe, depending on the size of the group or the purpose, that I would direct people towards. But yeah, it's literally anything from you're taking your employees away, or you've incentivized your employees to win holidays. So it could be sales targets or whatever it is. We're geared up to support that. Anything from like a meeting room to a 300 people conference.
Yeah. Now, as we talk about business trips, and I used to work within the vending industry, and we go away every year as a group of 28 companies. There was hundreds of people that went away every single year. And we go to Europe, we stay in a hotel, you go out, you eat, you go do these different things. The one thing that makes it really work kind of well with Sandals is that once you've got out there and you've paid for the accommodation, everything's included.
Yeah.
So you have got all of your drinks included. So nobody has to put their hand in their pocket for the whole thing. So if you're trying to treat your staff, it's a genuine treat. It's not, there's a holiday, it's going to cost you an extra £1,000 once you're out there to go and eat and do the other things. Everything's included, and it's really good food, kind of food standard as well out there, all 5-star quality food. So for me, I think actually, from the business trips out there, a real win for businesses. They can plan a business event and have a fixed cost when they get out there. They don't have to spend more. They're not going to be swiping at the bar every night to pay for the drinks because everything's included. So I think there's a lot of benefits there that people overlook. And you have the overcrowding in Europe right now as well, all over the sides of it. Why not go to Jamaica? Why not go out there, go and look at kind of St. Lucia and those other places? Go and take the team out there, even if you're a small team. Go and take the team out there and give them a real treat.
Yeah, and I think it's looking at what's the purpose. Is it like an incentive thing where you as a business have incentivized and it's just rewarding whatever it might be, one employee to take their partner or 5 employees or whatever, in which case, fantastic, most definitely tick the box, hopefully, through everything we've talked about. But also, if that business wants to take more team members out, then we can look at planning a bespoke meeting. We've got huge conference rooms. We've got individual sort of meeting rooms in resorts as well. So a lot of people don't know that because we don't necessarily shout about it, but the facilities are there. So we can work with yourself, whatever the business is, to plan that bespoke sort of meeting in the sun. We can work with, we have a supplier, we've not mentioned this, called Island Routes. So it's a wholly owned Sandals company, which is our tours and excursions program. So in every single resort, we have an Island Routes desk. So clients can book to do all the fantastic tours and excursions, some of the things we've talked about earlier. But also we can then work, going back to the business travel, with the company involved or the individual involved to build in maybe some cultural things through the Island Routes program. And that could be anything from like a catamaran cruise, a sunset cruise, to a half-day island tour. It could be something to do with that local school that we mentioned earlier, like what we call a reading road trip, which is a fantastic sort of 3-hour experience in conjunction with that school. So the canvas is blank. Tell us what you need and we can work with you and the business to deliver a pretty good bespoke package.
Yeah, and it also works well where you can go out there with the wider families, and that works great. If you're going to go and have a conference or these other events, the whole family can go out. So the family can go and do the family stuff in the daytime, whilst you're doing the business side of stuff. At the end of it, once you've got a few days of business out the way, you then have a holiday on the end of it.
Yeah.
And I think it works well, a kind of really well-rounded package, because you have everything there for everybody.
Yeah, and we're trying, where it really works for us is during the seasons where we're not so busy and we do have to manage it. That's a game where we will look at the resort in question, which would best maybe suit the size of the potential group that we're going to be getting.
Yeah, businesses, I think, if they going away to do larger group events, you have to plan in advance. You have to look well ahead of time to be able to do that, a year plus easily, to be able to make sure you can get those numbers, and to make sure you can get the numbers of accommodation available and those types of points. So
That's
yeah,
it. Well, because it can come down to number of rooms as well.
Yeah.
If it's one of the smaller resorts, we probably would not necessarily be able to authorise a larger group, because again, the demographics of the group versus the regular customers that are in resorts. So we do manage it very well. But as I say, I know from experience, there's the go-to resorts that we would probably look at. And generally, those are the bigger resorts, which also have the facilities anyway in the first place, with the conference rooms or whatever.
Of course. So we've talked about business travel, but we can also accommodate groups really well, can't we? Just talk us through the different types of groups that Sandals appeals to.
Yeah, so we mentioned earlier on about the golfing. So golf groups is a logical one. You might be a member of a local golf club and have friends that you maybe go off with on a winter break to, I don't know, Portugal or Spain being the popular ones. Would you like to go to Sandals and go to the Caribbean and play golf? Then that's definitely one that we can look at. And a group to us has no limits. It's just 2 couples maybe that want to go together, or it could be 10 couples or whatever. Is absolutely fine. And really just anything that's utilising what we already provide in terms of the all-inclusive could potentially become a group. I mentioned about the Red Lane Spas. So the Red Lane Spas pretty much feature in every single resort. Spa treatments are additional, but we can build in a price or a package for that. But that then is very much around the wellness side of the holiday. So any clubs out there that or sports instructors or people that run their own fitness or whatever it might be, potentially could you get a group together to bring to Sandals? We'd let you utilize the facilities to run your own yoga sessions or whatever it might be. And yeah, the facilities are already there. And hopefully that's another example of what might potentially become a group.
Yeah. And again, it's like you pay once before you get out there, and everything's included, obviously, except some spa things. But as we said, we can talk about that and we can help them out with that. But everything's included. You're not going to get out there and have to start paying for your meals. You're not going to have to get out there and start paying for your drinks if you want to drink, even if it's the soft stuff. So yeah, it's just a fantastic value package that, especially if you're organising a group of people want to know how much they're going to spend. They want to know what's going to cost them.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. So being able to forecast that well in advance and know exactly that actually we paid once.
Yes.
That's all you're going to have to pay.
And we also I remember a group last year where it was like a cultural group. So they wanted to go to Jamaica and they wanted to experience the island. So we built into that a number of island routes, tours, anything from that particular one. We built the Reading road trip into it with the local school. And then they based themselves up in the Ocho Rios area. So we did all the regular things that lots of tourists do, climbing Duns River Falls. But maybe across the course of a week, they did 4 or 5 different things outside of resort, which was obviously the tick box of what they wanted to do. But obviously, as a group, they were together at Sandals. And that's another example of a group where it's experiencing the destination, not necessarily just experiencing everything that we offer in resort. We mentioned earlier about tennis as well. So we'll often get tennis groups, pickleball groups. And if it's a pickleball pro or a tennis pro, if you can bring us customers, we'll let you utilize the facilities. You can run your own clinics. You can run your own mini tournaments with your obviously the people you're bringing to us. It's a blank canvas again. Let us know what you need and we'll work with you to make it happen.
And we've talked about island routes very briefly, but there's a whole bunch of things that we can do which are just incredible. I recently did a booking for the wedding group, and we got to be able to include helicopter transfers as well, which is absolutely amazing.
St Lucia is the popular one so you come from the international airport up to the north, which avoids sort of an hour and 40 minutes, possibly even longer road trip. So that's a popular one. So yes, that's something we can pre-book. Private transfers to and from resort. We can pre-book as well. But the main thing with island routes is everything adrenaline fueled, totally laid back, rafting up the Martha Brae River in Jamaica, for example. adrenaline filled in terms of like segways. We do the ATV safaris. You can climb Dunn's River Falls. You could do Mystic Mountain in Jamaica, which is the Jamaican bobsleigh.
Zip lining.
Yeah, but cultural stuff as well. Obviously, you're home to Bob Marley, so you can do Bob Marley's house and the reggae bus, for example. That literally everything is possible with Island Routes.
Yeah.
Both, as I say, adrenaline, but totally laid back as well.
Yeah, and they stop off for some fantastic food places as well, don't they, when they go off and do those Jamaican things as well. Yeah, it sounds incredible. You also have in some other islands, you have swimming with pigs as well, don't we?
We do, yeah. Bahamas, that's on a lot of people's bucket lists. I've been lucky enough to do it a couple of times, actually, and it really is an amazing experience. Yeah, feeding iguanas on the beach, these huge, ginormous iguanas. But actually swimming with the pigs as well is definitely one of my highlights of working for Sandals in terms of pinch me moments. Okay, this is a job.
Yeah. One of the ones that stood out to me as well recently as well was horse riding. So they do a range of different horse riding things, especially like across the beaches, in the seawater with a horse. It just looks fantastic.
Yeah, we do as well. Another popular one in Jamaica is we call it mini routes. So Island Routes have a fleet of green minis.
Okay.
So you literally go in convoy and just tour around the island, obviously stop off at beauty spots and things like that. And that's a really good popular tour as well. The most popular trip we do is the catamarans, the sunset cruises in particular. Yeah. Island Routes have their own customized catamarans. Some of them are Sandals branded as well. Many of them you'll actually see moored up at resort. So you actually join these excursions from resort as well. I'd definitely say for the majority of islands, if you've got an option to do a sunset cruise, that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I could honestly just talk for everybody these different things. There's so much to cover off with it. But I think we probably need to bring it to a bit of a close now.
Yes.
I think, because we've been talking for quite a long time. And if anyone is still tuned in, I really hope you found this useful, because I try and talk to clients about Sandals and beaches. I try and get these points over to them, but there's just so much to talk about. And this is one of the reasons why we want to do a podcast on it, why we want to try and bring you more information, because there's so much. And even when I organise a call with a customer and we have an hour or so on the phone, we can't touch half of this stuff. So we mentioned that sometimes you have to plan ahead when you're looking to book this. Specifically, something we haven't talked a lot about is the different room types, because again, you said there's up to 28 different kind of room classes in some of the resorts, and we can talk forever about the swim up rooms, about all different types. When I'm trying to find the right rooms for people for what they want, if you're looking within a few months, you can never ever find them. They sell out so fast. So how is the best way to get the rooms that you actually want, and how do you go about that?
You're bang on in terms of some of the rooms that we have. We don't have many of them. The ones behind myself and Jason, the over-the-water suites, yes, we have them in a variety of resorts, but there's only 12 of them in some resorts. They do book up really quickly. It is difficult to get in. It's difficult sometimes to get a week, because we often find that people will go in for long weekends or a shorter duration to then tailor it with maybe go to another resort or a different room type. So you have to book them in advance. It's as simple as that. Sometimes even if you want a leading category rooms at a luxury level room, in some resorts, we only have a limited number of luxury level rooms in that particular category. So the same thing, book in advance, and then you can lock in at the lead-in price or get that room that you dream of. At the moment, we are bookable up to late 2027, including flights. So a lot of people will find that surprising, because most people with scheduled flights like BA and Virgin, you can only book them within 11 months, but we actually sell outside of date range. So you, for example, could price up a November 2027 trip staying in one of these lovely over-the-water suites. We'll give you a guaranteed price. The deposit is only £175 per person. And once you've paid your deposit, you've got a confirmed price as well. So it's not going to go up. It's not going to go down likewise, but at least you can now budget, and you've got 2 years to plan, to save, and to strike it off in the calendar and look forward to something.
Yeah, and on the back end of that as well, we also offer direct debits, which can help you to make what is going to be a really special trip very affordable. So the low deposit, as you've seen there, it could be a kind of a big wedding, you're planning a big honeymoon, whatever it is, however you want to do it, whatever resort you want to go to, we can secure it now really far out in time. So we're on about, because obviously dates on podcasts, they age, but we're on about now about a 2.5 year timeline that we can plan out ahead for. So that is one of the best in the industry, really. It's really far out.
And actually as well, Jason, sorry, with accommodation, because obviously we control the accommodation, you can book accommodation 3 years in advance.
3 years in advance.
So if there is a particular room type or a certain date that you need to be away of, and it's in the away for, and it's in the future, we can at least book the accommodation and then add the flights as and when they drop in the system. So that's possible as well.
Yeah, and you're going to make sure, because you're a tour operator, it's all going to be packaged.
Yes, and bonded, and yeah, you've got your full insurances with it as well.
100%. So that's the full ATOL protection, ABSA protection, all the good stuff that we rely on in the UK, which means, again, that if your flight is cancelled, you can't go on with a holiday. If you've booked it by yourself separately, you still have to pay for the accommodation side. But when you do it and you book it as a package, which is the only way that we'll do things for you, then that's a full refund. You get everything back for your full holiday cost. So I hope you found this really useful. If you see me at wedding fairs, you talk to me, I always talk about Sandals because I just think it's an amazing product. You get so much included, and every time I break it down and compare it, it always comes out as one of the best value products for all this other stuff that we get included. So if you are thinking about a Sandals trip or a beaches trip, like what you've heard today has helped to inspire you a little bit, and you want to go find out more, please get in touch. I would love to help this to come true for you and to get you out there, help match you with your perfect resort, with your perfect island, and help build that trip into what you want. Talk to you about the excursions, get everything in there. Maybe a wedding, maybe a honeymoon, maybe even a golf trip. However you want to go and experience the islands, I can absolutely help you. And as you can see, if there's any questions that I don't know, we have the full kind of access to Sandals to be able to get everything answered for you. Our kind of full support. They're a great team at Sandals, and they work very closely with us. So I would love to help to bring this true for you. So Neil, thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
If you found this useful, follow and subscribe for more. Bye for now. That was a bad time, wasn't it? We'll wave together.
That's all right.
Actually, we'll say goodbye and we'll wave in unison.
All right, okay, cool.
You kind of waved,
so
and it was a little bit odd, and it was a little bit off.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? So thanks again. I'm going to put that one in.
This will be the outtakes. Yeah. I can see an outtakes coming. Okay.
So Neil, thanks for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here. It's been really insightful.
Yes.
And I hope you guys have got as much out of it as I have, because I've got loads out of it. And every time I talk to Neil, it's just a whole mind of information. I learn something new every single time. So I'm really happy to help you guys make the most of this experience. Get in touch. I'll probably keep you on the phone for ages talking about Sandals, because there's so much to cover off, and I just can't wait to get started on it with you. So thanks for joining us. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow to get more podcasts. Bye for now.